Hello, good to have you on board. You're right on time for the informative and authoritative bulletin in the region. Maisha Prime News here on Maisha Television. News with no bias. The bulletin that seeks to inform and also educate you on everything happening around you and beyond. Let's have a look at our top stories tonight.
Nadhani tumekuja hapa kwa maandamano ya amani, hatutaki fujo, tunauliza tu haki yetu kuona kwamba Kenya inaenda vile nitakana ikue.
Also tonight,
ilikuwa mwendo wa saa 12 hivi, tulikuwa tu tunapita kwa barabara, tukasikia sauti kubwa na vumbi. Kustukia tu ni nyumba ambayo ilikuwa inajengwa hivi juzi, ndio ilienda ikaanguka.
Plus
3.5 million citizens in the Republic of Kenya are today severely affected by drought, not to mention livestock and other areas that are affected, delivery of water, the absence of pasture.
welcome, my name is Rida Chebet carrying President William Ruto on Monday, September 26th, flagged off a consignment of relief to alleviate hunger in drought-stricken counties. Speaking at State House in Nairobi, the head of state said about 3.5 million people have been severely affected by the drought in various parts of the country. President Ruto flagged off 50 trucks carrying a total of 20,000 bags of rice and beans to the affected regions. Millicent Luamba reports.
President William Ruto on Monday flagged off 20,000 bags of rice, 20,000 bags of beans and assorted food items to mitigate effects of drought in northern Kenya counties.
This afternoon, we are here to flag off food, as has been mentioned by our CS responsible. We have in these 50 trucks, 20,000 bags of rice, 20,000 bags of beans, and assorted animal feed, together with cooking oil that will go to the various parts of our country that today are facing serious challenges of drought.
Dr. Ruto noted that about 3.5 million Kenyans are severely affected by drought, which has hit 23 counties.
3.5 million citizens in the Republic of Kenya are today severely affected by drought, not to mention livestock and other areas that are affected, delivery of water, the absence of pasture in many parts of our country. Currently, we have 23 counties across the country that are suffering the very serious and severe effects of drought. To avert any untoward further suffering of citizens in these areas, I did ask my deputy to convene a meeting of governors and all the other stakeholders, and we now have a plan of action to build on the plan that existed before, so that we can efficiently and expeditiously deal with the effects of drought in the various parts of our country.
Ruto said their next consignment will take place on Friday and they will assess the situation to see what this intervention will have meant to the people and what they should do next.
I have already agreed with the ministry concerned and with Treasury to make resources available so that the next tranche will be on Friday, and on a weekly basis we will assess the situation and see what this intervention will mean for the people around the country and what additionally can be done as we go into the future.
The president said he will meet development partners on Wednesday to streamline operations and also avoid duplication in relation to relief food supply to affected regions.
I want to commend development partners who are working with us, who are distributing food, those engaged in cash transfer on the ground. I have asked that we are going to have a meeting on Wednesday with our development partners so that we can harmonize our approach and make sure that we avoid any duplication in any part of the country, and so that we can leverage on the county teams that are assisting in identifying beneficiaries of this food and other items. I have also instructed the ministry responsible for water to urgently mobilize water bowsers so that we can deliver water to many parts of Kenya, and under the direction of the Deputy President, they will map out the areas that require water bowsers together with the governors present here and those who are not here, so that again we can be able to address that challenge of water around the country. Thirdly, we have also agreed that county governments will equally make provisions in their budget, even if they have to slow down some of their projects and programs, so that we can take care of this situation. The same thing we are doing at the national government. We expect county governments to adjust their budget so that there can be available additional resources to take care of the drought situation in the country.
The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said that they have already created a roadmap to combat drought in the country and assured the people of Kenya that he will have a continuous engagement with the President to ensure that they work for Kenyans.
Further to your direction yesterday morning that we initiate talks between the county government and the national government with a view of creating a roadmap of dealing with this drought situation. A meeting took place this morning under my chairmanship, and we have already briefed you that we have agreed on the way forward. And I want to assure the people of Kenya that the President has directed that he wants a continuous engagement between the national government and the county government, because we serve the same people. And out of that consultation, a roadmap has already been created going forward. Your Excellency, let me also confirm to you that further to your direction, that you want transparency in the distribution of relief food. It has been agreed that the food that you are flagging off today and subsequently will not be distributed by county commissioners alone. It will be a concerted effort between the national government administration, the county governments and our development partners, so that there is transparency and there is efficiency.
Governor Anne Waiguru also said that drought has disrupted the livelihood of many Kenyans. She continued to say that with the drought problem in the country, counties will continue to face challenges in mobilizing local resources to adequately respond to the drought situation. Millicent Luamba, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Thank you, Millicent Luamba, for that story. And moving on, the Supreme Court on Monday released its full judgment upholding the election of William Samoei Ruto as Kenya's president-elect. In the judgment, the 7-judge bench led by Chief Justice Martha Koome made 5 orders after concluding that the presidential election was conducted in accordance with the principles set out in the Constitution and election laws. First, the court dismissed the consolidated presidential election petition, including the petition filed by presidential contender Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua. The Apex Court also upheld the declaration of William Ruto as the president-elect as valid under the Constitution. Bushebi Junior with more.
On Monday, the Supreme Court of Kenya gave its full judgment explaining why Raila Odinga's petition was dismissed. Raila and other petitioners had sought the nullification of William Ruto's victory in the August 9th general election. 9 petitions were filed, out of which 8 supported the nullification, while 1 supported Ruto's election. The 7-judge bench dismissed 2 petitions, consolidating the 7 into 1. After the petitions were filed, they were narrowed down to 9 issues that needed determination from the Apex Court.
We have framed 9 issues.
Here is how the judges ruled on the issues. Number 1, whether the technology deployed by IEBC for the conduct of the 2022 general election met the standards of integrity, verifiability, security, and transparency to guarantee accurate and verifiable results. Whereas it is true that Kim's kits failed in 235 polling stations, 86,889 voters were granted the right to vote manually, and the requisite Forms 32A duly filled. This happened successfully in Kibwezi West constituency and parts of Kakamega County. While the audit report was released to the public 7 days before the 9th August election, the register of voters was used at the election without any apparent anomalies. No prejudice was shown to have been occasioned by any voter or party.
Tallying and declaration of results in accordance.
Also, Smartmatic was procured to provide the necessary technological infrastructure, as IEBC did not have the capacity to do so. No credible evidence meeting the requisite standard of proof of access to the system by unauthorized persons was adduced by the petitioners. Also, the scrutiny report prepared by the registrar of this court did not reveal any security breaches by IEBC's RTS.
There was a difference between Forms 34As.
IEBC successfully deployed a biometric voter register BVR system, which captures unique features of a voter's facial image, fingerprints, and civil data to register and update voter details across the country and in the diaspora. In compliance with the Section 6A of the Elections Act, IEBC opened the register of voters for inspection and verification of biometric data by members of the public for a period of 30 days. Thereafter, the register was revised to address issues arising from the verification exercise. KPMG then audited the register and was satisfied that the inconsistencies and inaccuracies identified during the audit were successfully addressed.
Issue number 2, whether there was interference with the uploading.
Second, whether there was interference with the uploading and transmission of Forms 34A from the polling stations to IEBC's public portal. The court said that no credible evidence was presented to prove that anyone accessed the RTS to intercept, detain, or store Forms 34A temporarily before they were uploaded onto the public portal. The allegation that 11,000 Forms 34A were affected by staging was similarly not proved. Also, the allegation that IEBC, its officials, and strangers used a tool to tamper with Forms 34A before converting them to the PDF that eventually appeared on the public portal was sufficiently explained when IEBC demonstrated how Kim's kit capture and transmit the image of Form 34A. Accordingly, the allegation was dismissed. Also, During the ICT scrutiny, it turned out that the transmission logs produced in the affidavit of Justice Nyang'aya were of no probable value. The registrar's report shows that the original Forms 34A from the contested polling stations, which were allegedly intercepted, were exactly the same as those on the public portal, and the certified copies presented to the court under Section 12 of the Supreme Court Act.
And transmission of Forms 34A from the polling stations to the IEBC public portal.
Regarding the allegation that the integrity of the public portal was compromised, this was disproved by evidence of consistent attributes such as a unique timestamp, uniform PDF conversions at the polling stations, correct polling station mapping, and consistent KIMS-KIT reporting from verification to transmission of results. Also, the RTS was configured on a virtual platform network VPN and the SIM cards locked to a specific polling station. The server was also configured to accept results only from authorized and properly mapped KIMS-KIT. In the view of the court, the petitioners failed to produce credible evidence to the contrary. And a review of some of the logs presented as evidence of staging showed that they were either from logs arising from the 2017 presidential election or were outright forgeries. In the esteemed view of the court, there was no evidence of a man or machine in the middle server configured to IEBC's VPN network, and no evidence was produced to show that the chairperson of IEBC and staff were part of the alleged conspiracy to stage the transmission process.
The report by the registrar of this court confirmed the authenticity of the original forms in the sampled polling stations.
The court also was meant to determine whether there was a difference between Forms 34A uploaded on IEBC's public portal and the Forms 34A received at the National Tallying Center and the Forms 34A issued to agents at the polling stations. It said there were no significant differences captured between the Forms 34A uploaded on the public portal and the physical Forms 34A delivered to the NTC that would have affected the overall outcome of the presidential election. And the court also said no credible evidence was presented to support the allegation that Forms 34A presented to agents differed from those uploaded to the public portal. The report by the registrar of the court confirmed the authenticity of the original forms in the sampled polling stations, and the affidavits of Celestine Anyango Opio and Arnold Ochieng Oginga, while containing sensational information, were not credible, as the registrar's report confirmed that all the Forms 34A attached to those affidavits and purportedly given to them by agents at select polling stations were significantly different from the originals, certified copies, and those of the public portal. The purported evidence of Celestine Opio and Arnold Oginga sworn in their respective affidavits was not only inadmissible but are also unacceptable.
And Forms 34As.
It has been established that none of the agents on whose behalf the forms were being presented swore any affidavit, that there is nothing to show that they had instructed both Celestine Opio and Arnold Oginga to act for them. Yet the two have gone ahead to depone on matters that are not within their knowledge, the court said. The court also could not countenance this type of conduct on the part of counsel, who are officers of the court. Though it is elementary learning, it bears repeating that affidavits filed in court must deal only with facts which a deponent can prove of his own knowledge, and as a general rule, counsel are not permitted to swear affidavits on behalf of their clients in contentious matters like the one that was before the court, because they run the risk of unknowingly swearing to falsehoods and may also be liable to cross-examination to prove the matters deponed. Therefore, the court must remind counsel who appeared before the court, or indeed before any other court or tribunal, of the provisions of Section 113 and 114 of Penal Code, that swearing to falsehood is a criminal offense, and 2, that it is an offense to present misleading or fabricated evidence in any judicial proceedings. Also, The contents of the affidavit of John Mark Gisongo were dismissed as they could contain forgeries, and for not meeting the evidential threshold, they contained no more than incredible and hearsay evidence, the court said. No admissible evidence was presented to prove the allegation that Forms 34A were fraudulently altered by a group situated in Karen under the direction of persons named in the affidavit and video clip attached to it. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Bushabi Jr.
September 26th, forced to use tear gas to disperse a section of Azimio la Umoja MPs and their supporters who were marching to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC offices in Nairobi. The MPs, led by Ruaraka lawmaker TJ Kajwang, were blocked by armed officers from accessing anniversary towers to protest the interdiction of the Commission's Deputy CEO Ruth Kulundu. The legislators had accused IEBC of victimizing Kulundu for not conforming for the will of her bosses after the August 9th presidential poll. Stephen Lubanga with more.
Police on Monday lobbed tear gas to disperse the Azimio la Umoja supporters who were protesting the interdiction of Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Deputy Chief Executive Officer Ruth Kulundu.
Nadhani tumekuja hapa kwa maandamano ya amani, hatutaki fujo, tunauliza tu haki yetu kuona kwamba Kenya inaenda vile nitakana ikue. Na sisi tunasema kama wajumbe ya kwamba IBC wanajua vile walitufanyia wakati uchaguzi, hataki kuongea kwa hayo maneno. Sisi tunasema tu haki ya wafanyikazi wa IBC iangaliwe. Hatungekubali kuona kwamba kuna mtu leo anatolewa kazi, anapoa barua aende nyumbani na amehudumia tume kama Madam Kulundu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba Chebukati na timu yake wawache hizo carteling wanafanya ndani ya hiyo ofisi. Na tutakuja hapa kila siku kuona kwamba haki za Madam Kulundu zimeonekana.
This was as they were going to the IEBC headquarters, the anniversary towers, to present their petition.
And the Secretary at Bajan cannot fire her deputy because the deputy is employed by the commission, not by Majan. And that is how things are. So I know that Madam Kulundu may be looking at her own options, legal options, but we have a mandate as members of parliament to come and question such infractions when this...
The anniversary towers gates were however closed and locked, with the legislators being told to disperse their supporters if they want their petition to be accepted.
Yes, we don't even know where these guys are coming from. We are members of parliament, and we are coming to be able to talk to IEBC in a normal way that we are doing our official function. So when I see a lot of tear gas, I'm wondering what is going on. Actually, to tell you the truth, I do not know where these guys have come from. Yeah, what we do, because we want to go there in a very civilized manner, peaceful manner. This is a very peaceful thing. It is a very formal thing. We are executing our mandate as MPs. Yes. Where are the other members? Where are the other members? They have run away. Wametoka? Excuse me. Yes.
The lawmakers maintain that Kulundu was interdicted for being a whistleblower in the August 9th elections.
And her duties are now being performed by her juniors. And we are saying, Mr. Chebukati, please, IEBC is a key institution in democratization of this country, and we are not going to allow you to become a dictator, dictating to your own staff. We even saw...
They further indicated that her interdiction was a witch hunt choreographed by Chairman Wafula Chebukati's wing in the commission for having assisted the 4 dissenting IEBC commissioners.
We even saw what happened in Mombasa. A whole chairman of IEBC inciting staff to heckle some of the commissioners and even Madam Kulundu. So we are here.
The IEBC CEO Majan Hussein Majan accused Kulundu of misconduct for arranging an illegal commission plenary meeting without approval. In the meeting, the 4 commissioners who disputed the 2022 presidential election results picked law firms that will represent the commission in the consolidated presidential election petitions. Ugunja MP Opiyo Wandayi and nominated MP Sabina Chege last week claimed that the move to interdict Kulundu was a witch hunt choreographed by Commission's chairperson Wafula Chebukati's wing in the commission for having assisted the 4 dissenting IEBC commissioners.
We cannot countenance a situation where public officers, civil servants, are being victimized arbitrarily for no apparent reason, but simply because they have been able to discharge their duties fairly and transparently and impartially. That is the crime Madam Kulundu has committed, discharging her duties and responsibilities impartially and fairly, as is expected of her by the Constitution and the relevant statutes.
We have indicated earlier as a Azimio team, we are there to defend the rule of law. And we want the lady's case to be handled and justice must be given. We are not begging for it. So there's no way that 3 people can just decide out of 7 commissioners that they're letting her go. What crime did she commit? And I would want it to go public so that we know.
For Maisha Prime News, I'm Lubanga Steven.
Thank you, Stephen Lubanga. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has made a raft of recommendation to Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC to enhance the country's electoral process. In a post-election report dubbed Demystifying Our Democracy, KNCHR wants the electoral body to upscale voter education to improve Kenyans' participation in the exercise. According to report by the Human Rights Watch body, 7 people lost their lives before, during and after the general elections. The report has indicated that this is a sharp decline in the death rate during a poll compared to the 2017 general election, where 99 Kenyans lost their lives.
The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights KNCHR chairperson Roslyn Odede on Monday gave the Commission's 2022 general election report on September 26, 2022.
The Commission documented 33 cases of violence targeting poll centers and officials in various parts of the country. These cases include altercations between opposing political factions, misuse of firearms by civilians as documented in Bungoma, Busia, and Siaya, physical violence and the destruction of election materials as witnessed in Mombasa and Kakamega.
The Commission said it recorded 28 cases of election malpractice during the polls, ranging from issuing more than 1 ballot paper to voters to collusion with politicians during voting.
Conduct of IEBC officials. During the election monitoring period, the Commission documented 28 incidences of election malpractices by IEBC officials. These incidents range from issuing more than 1 ballot paper, collusion with politicians during the voting.
Non-election officials were in some cases found in possession of election materials.
Incidents were also reported of non-election officials being found in unlawful possession of election materials. Incidents were reported in Kajiado and Nairobi.
The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights KNCHR has pointed out unprofessionalism among some Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC officials in the August 9th general election. At the same time, the Commission said 45 polling stations did not affix election results as required by the law, and also disclosed that it had recorded 22 incidents of unlawful destructions of property in Nairobi, Murang'a, Trans Nzoia, Siaya, and Isiolo counties.
Then there's the issue of affixing results at the polling station. The law requires that the presiding officer affix a copy of the declaration of the result duly signed at at the public entrance to the polling station or at any place convenient and accessible to the public at the polling station.
However, KNCHR noted cases of violence targeting IEBC officials, which it condemned and challenged authorities to probe and follow them through into completion.
Cases have also been reported of deaths and abduction of election officials. The Commission has consistently spoken out against and continues to decry the violence, intimidation, harassment, threats, and intimidation of election officials. Such conduct impacts the integrity of the process and must be stopped.
The Commission at the same time identified cases of abuse of freedom of expression, mainly on online platforms through pseudo accounts and persons hired to propagate hate speech and propaganda.
These confrontations resulted in physical injury to civilians, security personnel, and IEBC officials in Kakamega, Mombasa, Nairobi, and Wajir.
She pointed out that in a particular case in where an election official had his leg amputated.
In Wajir, an election official had his leg amputated. Cases have also been reported of deaths and abduction of election officials.
Lirima Wekesa, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
And the National Cohesion and Integration Commission (NCIC) has asked the county governments to consider equality when filling job vacancies to ensure that different groups are included. Speaking in Kapsabet, Nandi County, after meeting with various stakeholders, Commissioner Dorcas Kedogo, who is an NCIC commissioner, said there is a need for citizens to embrace their colleagues who are on different political sides as one way to promote democracy and harmony in the country. Leaders in the county have supported the efforts of NCIC and promised to develop plans to maintain peace even after the elections, especially among local communities.
Mambo ya county government pia tunajua kwamba katiba inasema kwamba 70% hata kama ni kazi ama ni mambo fulani itaweza kutendeka pale kwa wale wenyeji, na 30% wahakikishe kwamba wameweza pia kupatia watu wa makabila mengine ili uhasama usiwepo, bali waweze kuleta watu pamoja. Wakifanya hivyo hakutakuwa na shida yoyote, watu wataendelea kuishi kwa amani. Mambo madogo madogo haya ambayo yanaweza kuleta ndio tunataka yaondolewe katika ndimi na katika hata matendo ya watu wenyeji wa Kapsabet.
Tulidumisha amani katika kiwango cha kitaifa, tukadumisha amani katika kiwango cha county na sub county. Tunataka sasa tusukume frontier iende mpaka kwa village na kwa household level, kwa sababu hapo tumeona kuna mambo mengi. Ndio tunataka sasa tusukume haya mambo ili wananchi wetu waanze kuwa salama kutoka kwa village level.
Tumejitolea na tutahakikisha ya kwamba amani imewekwa, kwa sababu tukiwa na amani ndio msingi ya nchi kupata maendeleo, ya nchi kusonga mbele. So mimi nataka niwashukuru sana timu ya NCIC na commissioner wetu na maofisa wote wahusika kwa kutupa nafasi hii ambayo kwa kweli tumepata elimu, na mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba nitakuwa kipaumbele kuhubiri amani kwa kila kona na kuhakikisha kwamba amani imedumishwa.
Well, allow me to take a short commercial break. I'll be back with more news.
A strong woman knows she has strength enough for the journey. But a woman of strength knows it is in the journey where she will become strong. Join Irene Mumbo Bushebi and Rita Kering on Prime Women Talk every Wednesday from 8 p.m. exclusive to MTV.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Johannesburg.
Barcelona is live from Damascus.
We're on the doorstep. For Maisha TV.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is Prime News. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the beast. Informative, authoritative, unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News.
Take away the noise.
We are here to inform and educate you on all that is happening around you.
The Fury. Hello and thank you so much for joining us from wherever you are. The fighting voices, the distortions, the color and the flashy effects. But most of all, you can take away the lights. The misrepresentation that seeks to pull us apart, and then you can finally find out what is actually happening. And when you find that, then you will find Maisha Prime News, trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
Maisha TV, the Kenyan channel pushing information to Kenyan viewers through digital television platforms.
Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
News.
Thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast.
Information.
Classes were in a poor condition.
Cultural programming. Coming to you through all major broadcasting platforms. Special in-depth coverage from around Kenya. Exclusive reporting from all across Kenya and the continent. Maisha TV presents high-class programming, engaging talk shows from our studios and outside broadcasting on a wide range of issues with trending perspectives.
I'm really asking our guys who are behind the camera to look for that clip and then play that clip.
Telling Kenyan stories you won't hear elsewhere.
The most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up to here.
Tangu corona ianze mwezi wa 3 tumekuwa na changamoto mingi.
Watching stimulating debates on a hot seat.
I guess. Wait, I don't know. Wait. Let me tell you. Wait. No.
The latest happenings from around you on Maisha Prime. The Prime Talk shows connects us with realities of life. Hivi sasa, looking at your everyday life.
Wazazi wameenda kuwapa uhuru watoto wao na ndiposa.
And local business, finance and investment.
Some levels of smuggling of sugar.
Maisha TV digital platform engages users everywhere through multimedia approach technology. A Maisha Television digital platform, your local and continental channel platform where you choose it, watch it and love it. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is Prime News. Only on Maisha TV. Objective. Authoritative. Unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News. When it comes to technical training and research in science, technology and innovation, you can trust Matili Technical Training Institute, whether it's certificate or diploma in institutional management, automotive engineering, mechanical engineering courses, electrical and electronics engineering, information and communication technology, building construction and civil engineering, business studies, among many. We provide the best practical training and theoretical knowledge. Our exams is from the trusted examination bodies, among them NITA, KASNEB, NEC, among others. The government provides 30,000 shillings for capitation, and of 26,000 shillings remaining, needy students can acquire HELB loan. To apply for admission at Matili Technical College, visit our website www.matilitechnical.ac.ke. You can also call us on 0721 664 708 or 0724 402 786. You can also send your application to PO Box 765204, Kimilili, Matili Technical Training Institute, located in Kimilili constituency in Bungoma. Matili Technical Training Institute, a center of excellence in mechanical engineering.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. 3 people, a mother and her 2 children, have been killed after a building collapsed in Kirigiti area in Kiambu County. The 3 were in a house next to the ill-fated building that was under construction. Officials say it may take longer to reach the ground floor and that they do not know how many people are still trapped in the rain. This is the latest such incident to happen in the area, and the industry, which is blamed on lack of supervision and greediness by contractors. Kiambu head of DCI Richard Maura said that they are investigating the incident.
The requirement is that you must have the engineer, you must have the architects, and when it comes to a building like this which collapses, immediately, including that person, the contractor, they are supposed to go to the nearest police station and make a statement. And even all the officers that are concerned, that are in the region, both the National Construction Authority as well as the county government, they are all supposed to go and make statements at the police station. But what happens? A building like this collapses and you can't even see the contractor. He has completely gone underground.
Ilikuwa mwendo wa saa 12 hivi. Ilikuwa tu tunapita kwa barabara. Tukasikia sauti kubwa na vumbi. Kustukia tu ni nyumba ambayo ilikuwa inajengwa hivi juzi. Ndio ilienda ikaanguka.
What we are saying is simple, very simple, that people must start living up to the responsibilities that they are paid to stand up for in leadership and in ensuring that our people are safe. What we've witnessed here is disastrous. It can't be allowed to happen. That's what I'm saying with a straight face, that we cannot allow that. I've also had a conversation with a police commander here, and I've said it's also not business as usual for our police officers, because we've been requesting them to give us assistance, and I'm fully briefed about that sometimes when enforcement requires that they accompany our officers, sometimes there's laxity. We have also had a discussion with our in charge here, our commander, also the county.
A sad story there. And moving on, a manhunt has been launched for cattle rustling bandits who attacked and killed 11 people in Turkana East, Turkana County on early Saturday morning. The 11 casualties included 8 police officers, 2 civilians, and a local chief. In a statement on Monday, police spokesperson Bruno Shioso said a contingent of police officers has been dispatched to the area to ensure the bandits are apprehended and brought to book. Mr. Shioso further condemned the act, affirming that such criminal tendencies shall not be condoned and that no stone shall be left unturned in the crackdown. On Sunday, President William Ruto said he has received a comprehensive report on the attack and has instructed security agencies to deal firmly, decisively and conclusively with those involved. And now to matters education. Education officials have stated that the incorporation of peace studies in the education system will be beneficial for students as they are set to become leaders of tomorrow. The stakeholders say the peace should be constant through in the East African region that is currently facing insecurity in different levels.
I am one of the people who really advocate for peace because I have been trained by HWPL since 2019 when they first came to train educators in Kenya. I was in that very first cohort, and we've worked with them on the online lessons, the second cohort, third cohort, and even the fourth cohort. And I'm one of the people who've been appointed to be a peace educator under HWPL. And currently we are incorporating peace education in everything that we are doing in the education sector. And more specifically, in one of the programs that I am part of, the leaders in the country, that is education for sustainable development. Because if we are not talking about peace, then we are not talking about sustainable development.
You realize that in most cases, you will never tell a child from a poor background from a high end. They play together, right? You find them in class sharing items together. But what happens when they go home? Maybe the parent says, I don't want to see you with the neighbor's kid. I don't want to see you with that. So as we are brought up, it's something that is put in us. It's not something that we are born with. Once we are born, we are peaceful. That's why kids pray together.
And as we Kenyans, on 12th of April, or 2nd of April, we have lost 147 Kenyan students. They were not Christians, they were not Muslims, they were Kenyans. The reason why they were killed, nobody knows. All we know is that they were massacred. In Westgate, we have lost lives. At the same time, we, the people of Kenya, are divided.
And a group of young people drawn from different communities across the country has called upon the new county administrations to ensure young people are fully and effectively engaged in the ongoing county planning and budget making processes. The youths, led by their chair Nairobi chapter, called the attention of new county administration to Article 55 of the 2010 Constitution, which requires the state to take measures including affirmative action programs to ensure that youth have opportunities to associate, be represented and participate in political, social, economic and other spheres of life.
2, we ask county government to prioritize young people's voices in every sector because they constitute a large percentage of the population and their voices are key towards having a gender-responsive and youth-friendly budget and development programs.
We also ask the county government to make sure young people who are able differently are part of the process and the sector's working groups. We are here to lobby for positions of young people of abilities to be part of the CIDP development. Because we're talking about the county's development, we're only talking about one youth. But we're talking about the position of the voice of the young people in this country and this great county in the development agenda. Why are we talking about development particularly for the county? We mean we are a majority population. But look here, it is the majority young people who are in prisons. It is majority young people who are actually disillusioned and unemployed. it is majority young people who do not see any hope for a brighter future. So when we are part of the development, we are going to inform development plan that actually captures the interests, the priorities, and the particulars of young people. Let me say this in context. If today we invested so properly in the creative industry for Nairobians, we will see majority of young people actually come out of the unemployment shackle because they will be absorbed out of their creativity.
The Commission on Administrative Justice now wants the President to form a multi-agency team to address gaps in the existing labor policies on recruitment and management of Kenyan migrant domestic workers in Saudi Arabia. Let's have a look.
We have noticed, for example, that there is no a proper regulation or obligation that is placed on the employers once they get to have these our workers Saudi Arabia, and there should be a proper provision on non-confiscation of travel documents. And specifically, when our workers are traveling to Saudi Arabia, then they need to be trained properly, because you realize that there is no proper pre-departure training.
Some of our people are paid 900 reals, reals, which of course is, you multiply by about 30. I think one real is about 30, isn't it, or 30, 32. While for the Philippines, the minimum will be about 1,500. Why? It is something called job switching. What the worker signs here is different from what the worker is going to sign there. Now, when you talk about the Musaned system, it was supposed to eliminate this. How come it has not eliminated?
Kitu ya kwanza, maagent hawezi pewa hiyo karatasi ya contract ukasoma kwa ofisi. Unapelekwa mpaka airport ndio usome hiyo contract, kwa sababu hakuna vile unaweza rudi nyuma tena. Sasa ni safari, hakuna tena kurudi nyuma. Fanya 7 months nyumba ya kwanza, hata salary yenye walikuwa wameandika kwa contract sikuwa nalipwa hiyo salary. Na mateso, hakuna mtu alinisaidia. Vile nilikuwa napigia agent simu achukui, na mtumia message a respond, mpaka ikafika mahali kuna kijana huyo boss alikuwa anataka kunishoot. Si ati tunaenda kule kwa kichwa ngumu, ama ni Waarabu si watu wazuri. Ningependa sana government mtusaidie. Miss agent wangu hakuwahi nisaidia. Wazazi wangu na watu wa KDN ndio walinitoa huko. Sikuwa najielewa nikifika nyumbani. Huyo madam alinifanyia mambo yenye. Wacha nichikaze ili nisaidie wengine. And I want to say this. Wacha niseme ikuwe open ili mtusaidie. Government tafadhali. Mimi nimezika marafiki zangu 6 because of Saudi Arabia. Nataka kuniambia
And the Kenya Ports Authority, KPA, began implementing President William Ruto's directive of restoring the operations of clearing goods back to the port of Mombasa. In a statement issued on Monday, KPA Managing Director John Mwangemi affirmed to all shipping lines that the place of clearance and mode of transport for their goods shall be at their choice. Further, shipping lines were advised to facilitate importers' nomination of place of clearance, including port clearance, Kenya Revenue Authority's licensed container freight stations, and Kenya Ports Authority's inland container depots. He added that the notice superseded the 28 directive that forced importers to use the standard gauge railway. A public notice issued by the Kenya Revenue Authority KRA and KPA noted that all imported cargo for delivery to Nairobi shall be conveyed by the SGR and cleared at the Inland Container Depot in Nairobi. Further, all imported cargo intended for Mombasa and its environs will be cleared at the port of Mombasa. And as Kenya joins the world in commemorating the World Contraception Day, the Ministry of Health has singled out marginalized groups and people living with disability as persons who have not been so lucky with access to family planning solutions. This fear could reverse the progress made so far, even as an availability of reliance on donor funding continues to be a challenge. On September 26th, the World Contraception Day, a day that advocates for every pregnancy, is celebrated. While most people believe that contraceptives are important for health and wellness of families, the support from men is not as many would hope for it to be. In this year's World Contraception Day, the Methodist Church of Kenya has welcomed an advisory by the Ministry of Health warning women against the use of an illegal Chinese contraceptive pill.
Ours is actually to condemn something like that and to dissociate from it completely. It's not a Kenyan phenomenon. It's something that the church is against, and our scriptures will always teach us to be honest.
Jamii zile zingine za Kenya ambazo zinaendeleza tohara kwa wasichana siweze kukomesha, na hiyo ni kwa sababu ni kitendo ambacho kimepigwa marufuku na serikali ya Kenya.
Hatutaki kupangwa na nchi yoyote ile na madawa yasiyoeleweka ya kupanga uzazi kwa sababu ya kusema mtu azae watoto fulani. Jambo hilo kama vile ambavyo limekwisha kusemwa na kiongozi wetu wa kanisa ni ya kwamba ni Mungu ambaye anafungua kizazi ama kufunga kizazi.
The Ministry of Health in Uganda has confirmed that the cumulative death toll from Ebola virus hit 21 as of Sunday evening. In a tweet, the ministry said 4 out of the deaths were confirmed to be a result of Ebola, while 17 others were established to have been probably caused by the virus. The statistics from the health ministry show that 34 cumulative cases of the virus have been recorded, with 16 being confirmed and 18 probable. The virus, which was first reported in Mubende district, has now spread to Kiegegwa and Kasanda. The spread of Ebola in Uganda has seen its neighbors, Kenya and Rwanda, put in place stringent measures to prevent transmission of the virus through their border points. In Kenya, counties such as Busia, Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot and Turkana, which border Uganda, have put in places measures to avert the virus spread.
Ningeomba Wizara ya Afya wakati wanafanya mikakati ya kuangalia tahadhari ya mlipuko wa magonjwa yoyote yakitokea nchi jirani, wazingatie hata huku pia, kwa sababu hata huku pia wananchi wanatembea na afya. Ukianza kujali afya ufai kuiangalia kwa upande mmoja.
Ningependa kuomba kuwa waweke mikakati hata katika ziwa ili sisi pia tupate kulindwa na ugonjwa wa Ebola. Madaktari walioko Busia na walioko Malava pia wajaribu kuleta hapa Port Victoria ili pia tuwe na tahadhari ya ugonjwa wa Ebola. Watu wetu wasiambukizwe na ugonjwa wa Ebola.
Jaribuni kama mnaweza mlete wananchi ambao wanatoka waliosomea hali ya udaktari. Leteni hawa jamaa kwa bichi yetu ya Sinyenye Beach. Waleteni tafadhali.
Well, allow me to take a short commercial break. I'll be back with the remaining part of Maisha Prime News. Are you looking for a reputable technical institution to enhance your technical skills? Look no further. Kongoni Technical and Vocational College is an approved technical training institute by TVETA, a college committed to providing you with quality programs and services that will enhance and enrich your technical hands-on skills to meet societal needs. It is a top-rated technical and vocational college in provision of training, innovation, and action research in Kenya and beyond. We provide quality technical vocational training and research in collaboration with stakeholders to produce highly skilled and innovative human resource. We offer certificate in general agriculture, diploma in entrepreneurial agriculture, diploma in general agriculture, artisan in storekeeping, certificate in computerized secretarial, certificate in supply chain management, certified in information studies, certified public accountant, diploma in accounting, diploma in supply chain management, certificate in ICT, diploma in ICT, certificate in welding and fabrication, diploma in welding and fabrication, certificate in hairdressing and beauty, diploma in fashion design and clothing, certificate in fashion design and clothing, among many. Kongoni Technical and Vocational College is located in Likuyani Sub-County of Kakamega County, next to Likuyani Sub-County headquarters along Kitale Eldoret Road. For more information, contact us on 0721927458 or 0712114908. You can also send your application to PO Box 4530-205 Matunda or write to us on email to kongonitvc@gmail.com. Kongoni Technical and Vocational College, technology and innovation to meet societal needs. Engage with us on Facebook and YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TVKE.
Let me tell you, when they give you a very good deal, okay, look for the hidden charges.
Yeah.
Period. Forget about the figures that you're seeing. Just look for the hidden charges. It is his prerogative to have a conversation with chiefs and sub-chiefs. It's just so if you ask him not to have a close relationship with them, it's like asking a doctor not to speak to nurses.
The big question is, are women experiencing gender inequality?
The male counterparts are being treated, so it's okay. Women have really been discriminated.
Tobias Hissa is my name. I'm the principal of Bungoma DB School.
The principal of Kibanda Mixed Secondary School.
Ni mwalimu mkuu wa shule ya watoto walemavu ya Nalonga.
Dr. Godfrey Murunga, the fourth principal of Kisiwa TTI.
I'm Zadok Munanga, the manager for Kaimosi Friends Vocational Training Center.
This is Mbushangala Secondary School.
Maisha TV, the Kenyan channel pushing information to Kenyan viewers through digital television platforms.
Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
News.
Thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast.
Information.
The classes were in a poor condition.
Cultural programming. Coming to you through all major broadcasting platforms. Special in-depth coverage from around Kenya. Exclusive reporting from all across Kenya and the continent. Maisha TV presents high-class programming, engaging talk shows from our studios and outside broadcasting on a wide range of issues with trending perspectives.
I'm really asking our guys who are behind the camera to look for that clip and then play that clip.
Telling Kenyan stories you won't hear elsewhere.
The most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up to here.
Tangu corona ianze mwezi wa 3 tumekuwa na changamoto mingi.
Watching stimulating debates on a hot seat.
I guess. Wait, I don't know. Wait. Let me tell you about the sentiment. No.
The latest happenings from around you on Maisha Prime. The Prime Talk shows connects us with realities of life. Hivi sasa, looking at your everyday life.
Wazazi wameweza kuwapa uhuru watoto wao
and local business, finance and investment.
Some levels of smuggling of sugar.
Maisha TV digital platform engages users everywhere through multimedia approach technology. A Maisha television digital platform, your local and continental channel platform where you choose it, watch it and love it.
Alright, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're watching Maisha Prime News. Kenya's education sector has improved quickly despite disruption by COVID-19 pandemic. Before the pandemic, the government embarked on ambitious reforms which sought to improve the quality of education through several approaches. A competency-based curriculum, commonly known as CBC. These reforms has made Kenya top education performer in Eastern and Southern Africa. We interact with different schools daily across the country concerning the same. How are they faring on in terms of infrastructures, performance, and also the challenges they face?
Vihiga County boasts of quality learning institutions from primary, secondary to tertiary institutions is due to financial support offered to the learning facilities by the county government of Vihiga. A 3-minute drive from Mbale Highway towards Chavakali Market in Sabatia Sub-County leads us to academic giant Mbale Boys High School, headed by Mr. Peter Omutiti.
Kwa jina, mimi naitwa Peter Omutiti, mwalimu mkuu wa shule ya upili ya Marafiki Mbale, that's Friends School Mbale, ambayo iko katika Vihiga County na sub county ya Sabatia katika Chavakali sub location. Nilikuja hapa mwaka wa 2020 kidogo tu baada ya kuja tukawa na ugonjwa wa corona. So, shule ya upili ya vijana ya Mbale ina watoto 1500 na ni shule ya extra county ambayo inachukua watoto kutoka kote nchini Kenya.
The school is well recognized across the vast western region for its outstanding performance in the national examinations.
Tangu nije hapa tumejaribu juu chini, tumeimarisha masomo. We are on an upward academic trend.
I'm Henry Mugala, the school chairman Mbale High School. I would just like to say that Mbale High School is a school whereby we achieve our goals mainly through our academics, and all through we just like to thank our school principal, Mr. Peter Omutiti, for his support each and every time. And compared to other years, I think this year we are going to do better than other years because our discipline has improved. and we just hope for the best after our final exams in Form 4. And me being the school captain of Mbale, it has been somehow a challenge, but at the same time a lesson to me, because I can say it's preparing me for my future activities.
This has led to high enrollment of students, as it has produced prominent persons who are now shining in different sectors across the country.
Personally, I would just like to get a mean grade of B+, so that I can pursue my course of computer science. At least I can, through that way, we can make some changes in our societies, because after all, the society is the one that is depending on us.
I'm John Boreza, the Deputy Administration, French School Mbale. We emphasize on our 3 major issues: the fear of God, hard work, and discipline, as the things to guarantee our success as a school. And every other time we address the students or we talk to the parents, we want those aspects increased in measure: the fear of God, hard work, and discipline, because we believe that is what will guarantee us success. I also want to say that we have a strong disciplinary committee in place, which meets occasionally to review the disciplinary issues affecting the school and make corrective measures where there is need.
In Vihiga County, Mbale Boys High School is a powerhouse in many sporting activities, which has won the school many trophies.
Na katika upande wa michezo zilikuja zikasimamishwa, na vile zimeanza mwaka huu tumeendelea vizuri. Timu zetu zimeenda mpaka region za michezo, na hata kuna mwanafunzi wa indoor games ambaye ameenda mpaka nationals ambao zimekuwa kule Nakuru. Upande wa nyimbo music tumekuwa na regionals kwa shule ya wasichana ya Lugulu, na items zetu 3 zinaenda nationals kwa choir, ambapo zitakuwa kwa shule ya Kisumu Boys, Kisumu Girls na Area Primary hapa Kisumu. Kwa hivyo tuna imani ya kwamba hii shule ni shule nzuri na inaweza kufanya vizuri kimasomo na hata kwa michezo.
The boys are generally good. Sometimes they can be cheeky, sometimes they can be bad, normal of an adolescence. And mostly we emphasize so much, the current trend shows that we need to emphasize so much on counseling. So, at class level, at school level, and then at the religious level.
In terms of infrastructure, Mbale Boys boast of quality learning facilities following the collaboration between the school management and the Mbale fraternity.
Upande wa majengo, unapoangalia hili jengo tulimo ni jengo la kisasa sana, na ni shule chache hata hapa Kenya ambao zina jengo kama hili, ambalo lina ofisi zote na pia kuna madarasa 15. Wakati huu tunaongezea ablution block ambayo tumeattach hapa, watu ya calling a modern ablution block. Tunataka vijana wakitoka hapa wakienda zile haja zingine pia waweze kutumia mahali pasafi, mahali ambapo panalingana na hili jengo. Tunashukuru serikali imetujengea darasa 3 za CBC. Moja iliisha, hizi zingine 2 tunangojea kuwekwa roof na itakuwa iko sawa.
For Maisha Prime Education Segment, Maisha Television, I'm Rida Kering Chebet.
Well, moving on, small and medium enterprises, popularly known as SMEs, are engines of growth In Kenya, SMEs play a key role in economic development and job creation. In our news segment, My Hustle, My Story, we speak to the small-scale entrepreneurs on the journey, challenges, and also their successes.
Taking glass of juice on a daily basis happens to be an advisable habit. The health sector has for a long period of time been preaching and urging people to embrace the trend. With the increase in juice buyers, the fresh juice business continues to be the profitable, especially for Mrs. Wangui, who owns Eden Juice and Food Hub in Bungoma town along Moi Street.
Kwa majina naitwa Hanan Wangui Kari, mwenye biashara hapa Bungoma town. Inaitwa Eden Food and Juice Hub. Tuko located karibu na Petias Crossroad, opposite kwa Kokonya Uniform. Hii biashara tulianza miaka 2 imepita, na tulianza tukiuza matunda peke yake, matunda na juice. Tuna deal na mostly juices. Alafu baada ya muda, sababu ya demand ya customers, tuka introduce chakula.
She offers mango juice, sugarcane juice, pineapple juice, matoke among other delicious foodstuffs.
Tukianza na matunda, tuko na pineapple juice, kuna mango, passion, avocado, melon, pawpaw, beetroots, carrots, kuna zile green juices, kuna smoothies, both fruits and vegetable smoothies. Na smoothies tunatengeneza on order kulingana na vile mteja atataka. Ile mchanganyiko yenye mteja atataka ndivyo tutamfanyia. Zaidi ya hayo, kuna snacks, kuna mandazi, samosa, kebab, shortcakes, chapati. Pia kuna chakula. Hiyo ni kama pilau, mchele, nyama, ugali ya wimbi, nyama ya mbuzi, chemsha, fry, dry fry, wet fry, that is, mboga za kienyeji, na kuku pia kuna chemsha, fry, wet, samaki, ndizi, that is matoke.
We also have and offer sugarcane juice. We also do tamarind or ukwaju. So anytime you want to refresh yourself with some sugarcane juice and tamarind.
Being so passionate about food and fruits, especially fruits, I'm so passionate about health, na ndio sababu yake tuliangalia pamoja na mzee wangu ni wapi mtu anaweza enda akakaa chini akakunywa juice ama akakula matunda yake kwa usafi, prepared kwa njia nzuri. Tukakosa mahali hapa town, na ndio ikani drive kuamua ni matunda na chakula nitafanya. Kwa hivyo ukikuja hapa kwetu una uhakika utakula matunda yako, imetengenezwa kwa njia safi. Juices zetu ziko prepared kwa njia safi, kwa sababu handling ya matunda inataka usafi sana. Na hiyo ni kitu moja ambayo tunatilia maanani, na tunawahimiza kama mnaweza kujaribu majuisi zetu, karibuni. Tunajivunia juice ambayo imetengenezwa quality lakini affordable kwa bei ya mwananchi. Ukikunywa juice zetu natumai utapata na utofauti na zingine, na hiyo najivunia sana. Na ukikuja kwa upande wa chakula pia zimetengenezwa kwa makini na kwa uzuri yenye najivunia mimi kama mwenyewe na kama mpishi kuwapea chakula ambacho mtu unafurahia.
The business has been the source of employment for the youth both directly and indirectly.
Imesaidia kwa sababu tuna wafanyakazi directly na wengine indirectly kama suppliers ambao wanatusupply na matunda, vyakula vyenyewe. Na kama wafanyakazi directly nimeandika wafanyakazi 3. So natumai ile kudeal nao huko nje tumeshikilia mahali. Bidhaa ambazo tunatumia haswa matunda ni seasonal. Iko wakati matunda inakosa na inabidi tutafute source nyingine kwa bei ya juu. Na wakati unanunua matunda kwa bei ya juu inamaanisha profit yako inaenda chini. Ukosefu wa bidhaa consistently.
Mrs. Wangui has called on the county government of Bungoma to check on issue of licensing.
Licenses za hoteli ni mengi, ni kadhaa. So unapata kiasi na kufinya. Challenges zenyewe ni kwa just like licenses, hakuna kitu unaweza fanya other than kulipa. Lakini tunaomba serikali kiasi na county government haswa iweze kupunguza kiasi. Sisi wanabiashara wadogo tunaomba kama unaweza tupunguzia kiasi tutashukuru. Kwa bidhaa inabidi tuende hasara kidogo kuensure tuko na supply consistent ya hiyo matunda. Hivyo ndio tunaweza kumanage. Tunakubalia hasara wakati fulani lakini tuwe na bidhaa, kwa sababu si kila wakati utauza vile unafikiria. Haswa mwanzo wa kazi yoyote, matumaini yako inaweza kuwa nataka ni uze hizi vitu zote ziishe, lakini itachukua muda. Hata customers kukutambua inachukua muda. So lazima uwe mtulivu, anza pole pole, ukijua customers zako wanataka nini, alafu baada ya hapo mambo itakuwa sawa. Tunafanya hata deliveries pia, na mkihitaji mahali popote within town ni free. Out of town utalipa delivery fee. Kwa nambari yangu ya simu 0713968080.
For Maisha Prime News, my hustle, my story, I'm Philip Simiyu.
Alright, with that segment, My Hustle, My Story, we've come to the end of Maisha Prime News. Remember, Maisha Prime News comes to you every Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. and also on weekends, that is Sundays at 9 p.m. I'm Rida Kering Chebet. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.